All right, I think we are rolling, guys. I think we're rolling. Okay. So welcome back to the homestead. We're gonna get a little bit of chores today. So we were hoping and praying for rain, but not sure if that's gonna happen. However, it's really, really cold. As a matter of fact, I believe if it started raining right now, it'd actually be snowing. So to make some sort of progress, some forward momentum, I'm out here at the wood pile that's closest to the cabin, and I'm gonna split some wood and just have a little chitty chat. Hopefully these dogs don't knock over the camera. So all this wood that I'll be cutting is left over from probably about 3 years ago. It's really dried. Some of it's kind of rotted inside, but it still burns and it still keeps us warm. So what are you gonna do? It's nicer to use this old stuff, get it out of the way, rather than using the new stuff we had to pay for. I'm gonna show you guys this. It's a fiberglass handle splitting maul we actually got at a yard sale in one of the closer cities to us. Bought this for $5, guys, and we needed one because I have a few axes, but I don't have a splitting maul. So here we go. Let's try it out. Let's see how it works. Works pretty good. Works pretty good. Let's try another one. Some of these aren't going to stand up. I know it. Yeah, like this one. I may be able to fit that in the wood stove how it is, but right now, just leave it there. Alright, next on the chopping block, let's try this guy. This isn't really a wood splitting video. I know, using myself as an example, I like to watch how other people do things on their homestead. I just heard something, don't know what that was, but hopefully it was a dog on the other side of the house. I really need to get this thing out of the way. This old pine is actually one of the next things on my chopping block. We've got so many dead pines here. I would say at least 5 to 10% of all the pines on this property have been killed by the bark beetle or the pine beetle. So I gotta go through. It's probably gonna be a project for next year and start processing this stuff into firewood. It gives us, free firewood other than the labor, but it also beautifies the area because, I mean, come on, not very pretty, but they still burn. And we actually harvest a lot of pitch off of these dead ones to help start fires, especially outside. So let me give this guy a whirl here. This stuff splits really well just because of the fact that it's so dry, so dried up. Trying to find a good flat spot here. This is one reason why it's important when you're using a chainsaw and you're starting to process wood, try to cut it as flush as possible. That way when you're splitting it, it's much easier. Doesn't really make a difference if you have an automatic or a hydraulic log splitter. I don't have one. I would like to have one, but this is my log splitter now. Oh, it's kind of a funky swing. So if you guys watched my video yesterday talking about the cool find my boy William discovered on our hike, you would have seen the really cool hand-forged, what I think to be is a part of some horse tack or mule tack. It was a buckle. Boy, this guy just does not want to sit right. There we go. give it a kickstand. And I wanted to send a link to that video to Dwayne over at Dry Creek Wrangler School. He's a horseman, and I figure if anybody knows what this is, he's gonna know. So I actually did email it to him today. Let's see if he responds. I hope he does. He's a really cool guy. And I really want to know what it is. Stuff like that interests me for some reason. It's like history, especially out here. History of this area, this property that we have. There we go. So hopefully he gets back to me. Whew, that was a good one. So I'm thinking, ruh-roh, right? I'm thinking, if I have time today, I may make a video talking about our rainwater catchment system, you know, from start to finish, from when it falls from the sky to when we're making coffee out of it. Let me know if that is something that interests you guys. A full review of our rainwater catchment. That's how we get all of our water, 100%. So, ooh, that was a tough one. Surprised that survived. Wow. Yeah, these odd angles aren't helping me out at all. Now I've seen people use an old tire to hold their rounds in place. That's a great idea. I just don't happen to have any old tires here. Well, that was a bad swing too. Let's try it one more time, guys. Come on. Need some encouragement. There we go. Third time's a charm. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. So of course I'm not going to split all of this today. I just want enough for today and tonight. That way we don't have to mess with it later. So just scoping out what's my next piece going to be. I think it's going to be this guy here. Yeah, that one's a little bit better. Let's see if I can get this one on the first whack. Yeah. Again, guys, don't be impressed. This stuff is so dry, I could probably throw it against a rock and it'll split. But still makes good firewood. The wood stove does not mind what it looks like. I'll get one more on this guy. Maybe. There we go. I don't know if I'll be able to get this one. A little bit. So this is too odd a shaped to set this one on end. Huh. So I just want to show you guys this. Here, this is a highly mountainous area. Highly forested, as you can see, and a lot of times during the year, especially during monsoon season, we'll get some wicked crazy thunder and lightning out here, and as a result there are lightning strikes that will actually catch trees on fire. If you can see, this was the victim of one. See a little scorched mark there. So there's a lot of this around here. You could just take a hike and find all kinds of trees just kind of blown and open up like a flower, and they're all burnt. There we go. Somebody's going to make some nice firewood. Throwing it all over into the gorilla cart here. That's a must-have tool on a homestead, guys. Gorilla cart. This one's almost too long to put into the wood stove, but I think I can make it work. Oh, timber! Come on. Just need to balance for a minute. Doesn't help that the wind's blowing. Alright, let's load up, see how much we got. Now, even though I purchased our first 3 cords from a processor down in town, it's nice to have the ability just to walk out your front door and harvest all the firewood you ever need. There are some people out here in Arizona that live more in the desert areas, you know, down south. And even though they're in the desert areas down south, winter times are no joke, temperature-wise. Deserts are not always year-round hot. Matter of fact, in the wintertime, they can get blistering cold. Well, we got a full gorilla cart here. I think this one is actually ready to throw into the wood stove right now. So here's an example of devastated pine trees. You can see, hopefully you can see, the pine beetles bore into the tree here, and they make these holes, and then they lay their eggs and do whatever they want to do. But you can see it goes all the way into the wood, and it'll kill a pine tree in no time. And that kind of stinks because I love pine trees. We're doing our best here on the homestead to try to save as many as possible when we're going through clearing. You know, it is what it is. The good news is, underneath almost every single juniper you see around me, there's 1 to sometimes 4, 5, 6 baby pine trees growing up. So it's that whole birth, life, death thing going on right here at the homestead. And most homesteads, I guess, all over. Fit that one in the stove. All right, let's do one more. A chunky juniper. And as I've said before, the shaggy juniper comes with this built-in kindling and it works great. So, not bad for a $5 splitting maul. I need to sharpen it, even though the edge of a splitting maul isn't really what does the work, but still always good to have sharp tools. Get 2 more pieces out of this. Maybe not. It's right where a branch has gone in. It's much stronger in those areas. All right. I think we are good for today, and maybe even a little bit tomorrow. Let me show you what we got just in the 10 minutes or so of splitting. We've got a full gorilla cart. This will last us, if I burn all day, which I know I will be today and tomorrow, this will last us into tomorrow morning. I've already got some already stacked that the wife took care of a few days ago. And I'm just kind of topping off our supply. So I'm going to upload this video, guys. If you want to see the full review of our rainwater catchment, like and subscribe. Do that thumb up thing and subscribe. And let me know. Say yes or no. We'll see you on the next one.